there! Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn the periodic table song. Are you excited? Let's go. Hello, my dear students. Hello, ma. You know what is the birthday of our periodic table? Can you guess? 1st of February, 1869. It was the day when Dmitri Mendeleev presented the periodic table for the first time. That's why we celebrate the birthday of the periodic table on 1st of February every year. Now, do you want to know how many elements are there in the periodic table? 118. We have 118 elements in the present-day periodic table. Can you name them all? No! No worries if you can't. It's not an easy task to remember the names of all the elements. But don't worry, I'm here to help you. You want to know something interesting about the periodic table? Each element has its own atomic number, which is unique. The atomic number of an element tells us the number of protons that are present in the nucleus of an atom of that element. The atomic number of an element is represented by the number Z. For example, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1, which means that each atom of hydrogen has 1 proton in its nucleus. Now, the mass number of an atom is the total number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus of an atom. The mass number of an atom is represented by the letter A, so the mass number of hydrogen is 1. Now, do you want to know something interesting about the mass number of hydrogen? The mass number of hydrogen is always 1 because it doesn't have any neutrons. Okay, now, let's see what is the formula. To calculate the number of neutrons, if you subtract the atomic number from the mass number, you will get the number of neutrons. So, for hydrogen, the number of neutrons is 1 to 1, which is 0. So, hydrogen has no neutrons. Now, listen very carefully. Isotopes of an element have the same atomic number but different mass numbers. This is because the number of protons is the same, but the number of neutrons is different. Now, let's understand this with the help of an example. Hydrogen has 3 isotopes: protium, deuterium, and tritium. Protium is the most common isotope of hydrogen and it has 1 proton and no neutrons. Deuterium has 1 proton and 1 neutron, and tritium has 1 proton and 2 neutrons. Now, you want to know the general electronic configuration of an atom? Very simple. In the outermost shell of an atom, if the number of electrons is 2, it is known as a group 2 element. If the number of electrons in the outermost shell is 14, then it is known as a group 14 element. If the number of electrons in the outermost shell is 80, then it is known as a group 80 element. Now, let's understand this with the help of an example. Helium has 2 electrons in its outermost shell, so it belongs to group 2. Carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell, so it belongs to group 14. Argon has 8 electrons in its outermost shell, so it belongs to group 18. Now, you want to know what are the different groups in the periodic table? So, here they are. Group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Elements in the same vertical column of the periodic table are known as a group. Each group consists of 80 elements. Now, let's see what are the periods in the periodic table. Periods are the horizontal rows in the periodic table. There are 7 periods in the periodic table. Now, let's see what are the properties of metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Metals are the elements that easily lose electrons to form positive ions. They usually have 1 or 2 electrons in their outermost shell. Examples: sodium, calcium, iron, aluminum. Nonmetals are the elements that gain electrons to form negative ions. They usually have 4 or more electrons in their outermost shell. Examples: chlorine, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus. Metalloids have properties that are intermediate between metals and nonmetals. Examples: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic. Now, you know a lot about the periodic table, so let's have a look at some questions. Very nice. What are these? These are the groups in the periodic table. How many groups are there? There are 18 groups in the periodic table. What are these? These are the periods in the periodic table. How many periods are there in the periodic table? There are 7 periods in the periodic table. Now, let's have a look at some questions. Which element has the atomic number 1? Hydrogen. Which element has the atomic number 6? Carbon. Which element has the atomic number 18? Argon. Which is the most common isotope of hydrogen? Protium. Which group in the periodic table has 18 elements? All groups in the periodic table have 18 elements. Which period in the periodic table has 80 elements? All periods in the periodic table have 18 elements. So now you know a lot about the periodic table. Isn't it amazing? The periodic table is one of the most important topics in chemistry. So study it well. If you like this video, press the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching this video.